Danny Acosta for Fight Magazine here with Daniel Cormier, fighting on November 6th. Tell us about this fight and how you feel.
I feel pretty good, just kind of starting camp again, getting ready. We're like 7.5 weeks out or something. I'm going to be fighting Soa Palele in Australia next MMA, which is a big fight for me. Again, it's a progression in my career. He's a guy that's fought in the UFC and had some big fights and big wins over his career, so it's going to be a good fight. I'm excited.
Is this a pace that you enjoy? Because you've been taking fights on, a couple days' notice. You've been fighting in multiple organizations and fighting very frequently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoy fighting, man. I like to fight often. I think it's good, especially where I'm at in my career. As I move forward into bigger fights, more name guys, where the fights are more grueling and more battles, then I probably will have to slow down. But right now I'm able, man. And if you're able, I think if you're able, you're a fighter, you should fight.
What was it like to get your first knockout and your first submission inside the cage?
Oh, it was great, man. I looked at my deal the other day, my record, Bob and I, and been pretty consistent, because the last guy tapped out due to strikes, and, I had the submission in King of the Cage. So now I'm sitting at about 3 knockouts, or TKOs, and 2 submissions, so it's going really well. I'm enjoying it. The submission felt really good because I could throw it in Camarillo's face like, wow, I got one, It made him happy, and it made me happy.
You've also collected a few belts on the way. Early on in your career, what's it nice to start stocking the trophy case?
Oh, it feels good, man. The funny thing was, right before I took all those fights, I told Bob, we were leaving here one day, I go, Bob, what kind of sucks about fighting for Strikeforce in the beginning is that I never got any regional championships. And then the next week, he was taking me to Australia to fight for a regional championship, and then I fought in King of the Cage for another one. So I've got 2 now. It feels really good, to have success. Success always feels good. But in order to maintain it, you have to continue to work hard and be driven, and that's what we do here at this gym.
The last fight card you won in Strikeforce, you're an Olympic-level wrestler. You've had fights in Strikeforce, but your fight wasn't shown, and Ryan Couture's fight, who's 0-0, was shown. How'd you feel about, being on the preliminary portion of the card?
Being on the prelims, it doesn't really affect me. I'm getting the fight. Like I've said a lot of times, not many guys get to fight 3 times in Strikeforce in a year. I've had 3 fights in my first year, so it doesn't matter where it's happening. I'm really early in terms of who gets on TV. That's not my job. It's Rich Chu and Scott Coker and all those guys' job to decide who fights on TV. And if I continue to put on good enough fights and win impressively, they're going to eventually put me on TV and in bigger fights, and I'll be ready when that happens.
Your immediate goal is obviously November 6th, but now that you've got some more cage time, what are some of the long-term goals you're setting for yourself in the cage?
Oh, my long-term goals never change, man, in anything I do. I want to be the best at it. I want to be the world champion. And if things continue to progress as they have, I think I'm going to be at some point in my career, So I'm just going to continue to plug away, man, keep working in this gym with the best training partners in the world. Mike, Kyle, Cain Velasquez, Mark Ellis, Herschel. We got Herschel here, Kyle Kingsbury. We've got tons of great guys for me to train with, Luke Rockhold. And I'm just going to keep plugging away, man. Eventually I'll obtain my goals, and that should be the best.
I saw Herschel stuff one of your takedowns earlier. Is your wrestling slipping, or is he that good?
You cannot just take Herschel down, man. You've got to set him up. He's getting really good at takedown defense. And no matter what your level is, if you're not setting up your takedowns, you're going to be as bad or equal to anybody else that you're going against. So I think it's a testament to how well Herschel's done. And me falling into that trap of not doing what I need to do and what I know is correct, So I've got to get back to doing the things that I've done, and that's what I did, So it's a matter of me focusing every time I try to take someone down, not just doing it half-heartedly.
You recently had some beef with Rampage Jackson on Twitter. Is that strictly the King Mo friendship that you have and Rampage's animosity toward King Mo, or is it something between you and Rampage personally?
No, I think Rampage is great. I think he's a great champion. I think he's above what he did after Mo lost. That's what really upset me. Mo's my brother. He's my family. But as a legend, I think Rampage should hold himself a little more at a higher level than that, and to stoop down to that level. That's also shows you how big Mo has gotten in this sport in such a short period of time that he loses a fight. And Rampage Jackson, who's one of the greatest of all time, makes it a point to throw shots at him when he's down, So that upset me because Mo's my family, but also because I truly believe when you look at the legends of the sport, you don't see Couture doing that. You don't see Anderson Silva and those guys throwing shots at anybody because they don't have to. They're legends, and you have to carry yourself accordingly. From everything. You look at from football players, the best that's ever been, to the best wrestlers, John Smith and Kevin Jackson. You never hear those guys talking bad about anybody else. They know what they've done and they're securing themselves. And I think if he's going to be there and put there by the fans, he needs to carry himself in that way as a champion, as a legend.
Come November 6th, how will Daniel Cormier stay thirsty?
I'm always thirsty, man. I'm gonna go out there and implement the game plan. Whatever Bob tells me, he doesn't tell me a game plan going into these fights. When I'm getting ready to go fight, he tells me what we're gonna do. I don't want to be thinking about something 2 months out. I want to know when the fight starts because we've trained for everything, and I'm gonna do it. If he tells me take him down, I'm gonna take him down and finish him. If he tells me stand with him, I'm gonna stand and finish him. I'm gonna keep finishing fights. I want to finish every fight that I'm in. I want to do a little more wrestling. I need to start doing a little more wrestling where I find my comfort zone in these fights. I've been standing so much that I haven't really had a chance to use my wrestling in a lot of fights, so I really need to start implementing it into my fights.
Daniel Cormier.
Thank you.